In this section, we will look at the steps that make up your programs. Previously, we create simple programs in 3 steps with one question each. Here, we will look at how you can customize each step of your program. Before you start, if you have not already done so, I invite you to pass your program to publish, which will allow you to make it accessible and to test it. You will then be able, by logging directly into your account, to deposit a file and test the programs you are setting up. Once you have completed your test, you can go to any of these deposits and delete the test you may have used by simply clicking on the recycle bin. So, this first part of this video, we will look together at the general parameters which compose your course. By default, the program will be composed of a tab with a call to action button. This part here, as you can see, is a bit empty. We will customize it together. To do this, to go to the section course, and we will edit the course of the step we have previously created. We'll click on title, and here we will focus on the title of the course. By default, it takes the type of your program. It's what we have here, me programs. I will decide to customize according my need, and I will call it application. We also find the title of the call to action button, which you have here by default register. I'm going to customize in the same terms, submit an application. And if I validate the parameters, always remember to save the settings or click on finish. This will allow you to save the settings and save them. Here, if we update, you can see that this part have been refreshed. If you wish, you can add a text on this menu by scrolling this icon shape. That invite you to do so here. Your short description is it to put a text that will remind people who wish to submit an application or register perhaps a condition. This will last filter before the person create a file or open an application. I'm going to put a very simple text here, which remind participants there are conditions of participation. You can also add to this text with picture or video if you wish. Always I will register. We will look at the result together. So automatically, when I click here, the menu unfolds and I have the new information which appear here and I can submit my application. We will look then the date part. You have the possibility, if you wish, to limit the opening and the closure of your programs in time. For this, you will activate the date and you will be asked to choose a start date and end date. The principle is quickly simple. Before the start date, I can submit a file. After the start date, I can no longer submit a file. So we'll put a fictive date here and until the end of June, for example. You also have the option to setting time. For example, if your program ends here on 20 June, I may well decide to customize by setting 20 June to 23 hours. Okay. So, until the last moment of schedule, I will be able to submit my file. I will record and I look it together. Here, if I'm open, you see I have start date and end date. Okay. So here I am between the two slots. I will therefore be able to submit a file. Now, we will look at the last two parameters, which are part of general parameter, which are limit of the number of answer and team participation. The limit of number of answer is what allow you to propose to candidate to submit an application several times. If by default, if I return to the previous page, you can see I have a file that has been filled and I can find the reference. I will be able to submit a new file. And I will again be able to access to the second file and so as many times as I like. You see these three deposits. If you wish to limit the number of answers, no one, two, or possibly more, you simply limit the choosing the number. Here, the number of application at maximum. I will first delete my previous file. Here we go, up and update my page. Up. We are limited to one answer and I'm going to register it. That's it. And if we go to the answer part, which is also update, I can access the file I have opened, but as it was limited to one participation, I no longer have the button that allow me to submit a new file. It would have been the same if we have limited to two files and that I have two files in progress. We will now look at the last parameter together. The last parameter is team participation. You have the possibility, if you wish, to activate team participation. It will allow me as respondent to invite one or more collaborators on the file. We look at it together, that's it. I activate the participation of the team, and by default, the number, there is no maximum number. I can therefore invite as respondent as I want. I invite you anyway to block, to border the maximum. Here we put two people and I register. A classic file, I will complete the step and step my file. If team participation is activated by updating here, that's it. I will have to file this email address that person receive an invitation and will in turn be able to connect to the file and help me to complete the step. It's up to you to see if it's something that is pertinent in your case of your programs. In the next video, we will look together in more detail the content of each step.